Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday, May 10th. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I don't normally do this, and I don't like to do this because it defeats the purpose, but because I am going to see my mother, this was actually made the day before. But it's important, and I'm going to give you May 10th's reading. And I know I always give you too much information, but thank you for loving me anyway. Okay, the quote for May 10th is St. Francis of Assisi says, "Where there is patience and humility, there is neither anger nor vexation." What in the world is vexation? I'm going to have to look that up. All right. When we begin recovery, we often start tapping our feet and looking at our watches. Impatient and annoyed because our family and loved ones haven't caught up with our progress. But if we really care about them, we'll give them the respect they deserve and let them choose their own recovery timetable as we chose ours. We began recovery when we were ready and not a minute sooner. We may have resisted the urging of others for a long time before we actually felt ready to change our lives. Now it's our turn to give others the time they need to change and let them recover on their own timetable. We're tempted to rush them and maybe overeager to share the joys of recovery, our new values. We found a wonderful way to live, and we can't wait for them to join us. But wait, we must. Our higher power can help us wait lovingly and with patience, and we can let go. Today, help me be patient with those who are new to the path of recovery. Before I expound on the reading, vexation means the state of being annoyed, frustrated, or worried. So what was the context of that again? Neither anger or vexation. So be patient, I guess, is the moral of the story, which is what the reading said. What I like about this is it's so true. And I've seen it over and over again in group, especially with the people who have families. So I'm going to just clarify what this could look like. If I've been gambling for 20 years and maybe right before I get ready to quit, it's been, going downhill and it's the unmanageability is really, really creeping in, say 6 months before we get to our rock bottom or a year before we get to our rock bottom. And then we get to our rock bottom and we start telling people, or, we have to come clean to our families or whatever. You had that 6 months or a year to start ramping up to the acceptance of the problem and preparing to invest in yourself in recovery. Well, when everybody else finds out, though, they didn't have that 6 months or that year to mentally start accepting that you're a gambler or accepting the damage that's been done. So it wouldn't be fair to expect them to be in the same place as us. Why would they be? They didn't even know what was going on. I mean, they have to digest shock. They have to digest maybe secrets that were kept. And, I think of the times that I've heard people say, oh, I had a second mortgage on the house. Like my spouse found out that I was gambling because they got the mortgage paperwork X amount of months later, or spouses are finding out from credit card statements. And, there's all the lies that come with it too. Think about how hard it is in some cases to get forgiven for a lie. I know that for me, I'm struggling to forgive some lies, and some of them are old and it's not easy. And to be on the side of it as the person who isn't the addict or whatever, or, all right. Yeah. I'm going to pick a person. So there's a person that when they're doing well and they're clean and doing the right things, I go into it with doubt because that's happened multiple times. And I do not, now this is part of my recovery too. Like I have my boundaries and my beliefs, and I'm going to protect myself. My rule is me and my recovery come first before everything else. So I protect myself. So they might get to month 3 or 4 and they think that they're all fixed and they're all cured and they've done the right thing for a couple months now, and I should just forgive and believe and whatever. And that doesn't work. That's not my timetable in that case. I need significant, well, I don't need anything, right? Like, it's their life. And if they do the right thing, and I so believe this because I've seen this happen over and over again, if the addict does the right thing and they do it for themselves, not for everybody else, not the show, so that you can say, oh, I have so much clean time, but you're really not improving. You're just abstaining, or you set expectations for the other people to receive you. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. But if you do the right things for you, all of a sudden you wake up someday and the world becomes more accepting. Your children start allowing you back in their lives. Your spouse respects you, or all of a sudden they're not tracking your phone to see if you're making a bet when you're gone for 15 minutes extra. Now, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. I mean, people in that are dealing with the addicts legit have PTSD in most cases. It's triggering when there's time that we're not accountable for, or money that we can't, show, or we might forget to get a receipt, whatever that looks like. They're not healed, and you have to give them and respect that they have their time to heal. When I first read this, I was thinking of it in the terms of a divorce. Usually it's one person wanting a divorce, right? Or one person that's got in that mindset of the divorce. So same thing. If one person's already thinking about the divorce for a year, 5 years, whatever, but the other person isn't, you're going to heal on different timetables. And that's where I think some of the anger and all that stuff, because if you want the divorce first and there's a reason you want the divorce, chances are you're angry or not happy or whatever. You're processing those feelings probably before the other participant even has a clue. Or maybe they have some clue but don't think it'll end in divorce. So then when they find out, then they have to do their processing. It's the same premise as when things come out in the open. And I guess while I'm on this topic, it's been shown to me, not just in my own experience, but in, again, hearing from other folks, let it all out the first time. Like, if you have your secrets, give them all. Get a clean slate when you're confessing and owning up to your actions, because you're really doing a disservice to the person that you're coming clean with if it comes out in dribs and drabs over time. Like, pull the Band-Aid off, let them start healing, and then when you're living your best life, to not lie and to be accountable and to be transparent, do the work again and do that. It's not fair that you bring them on a roller coaster a bunch of times as the secrets continue to come out. It's just not fair. You're hurting them over and over again. It's like punching them in the face, and that nobody deserves that, especially our loved ones, right? Nobody deserves to be getting parts of the secret over time. It's just, it's horrible. It's really, really horrible. And then you wonder, what other secrets? They're always going to wonder, what else don't I know? What else is going to show up down the road? Like, that is not a fun way to live. Just not a fun way to live. Because what happens in their heads is the speculation and the fear and, what else am I going to find out? How much worse can it get? So, yeah, that's my advice. Just pull the Band-Aid off. Actually, if you're gonna surrender and be honest. Put it all out there. And yeah, it's going to suck. It's going to suck. Anyway, that's a really good reading and a really good premise, in my humble opinion. So I hope that there's some value to that. I'm feeling like this is directed at folks that maybe haven't quit, or maybe are still keeping secrets even though they quit. just think about, it's funny, yesterday's reading and today's reading both, it's a little bit about the other person. So if you have people in your life, it's not all about you. Now, I'm not saying you should act in a way where you're trying to, again, set expectations or make them feel a certain way, but just own your shit. I mean, it's just that easy. Get honest and own your shit. And then it's up to them to sort it out and do whatever. Maybe they can forgive you. Maybe they can't. But if you genuinely want to be a better human being, then you have to come clean from every angle. And the cards are going to fall where they may. How's that for a gambling analogy? So, okay. I'm a little passionate about that subject. I hate being lied to. Hate being lied to. It's not something I handle very well. So it's devastating. I think it's even worse than the actions sometimes. And again, this is just my personal, been on the side of the lies reaction. And I know that, like I said, it's been periods of time and I still haven't forgiven, or maybe even if I forgave them because I know that it's best for me, I might not have relinquished or let go of the fact I was lied to, because lying sucks and it just sucks. Okay, enough about that. Enjoy the rest of your Mother's Day. I will talk to you guys when I get home from Connecticut. And we have a 3:30 tea time here, although I may golf in Connecticut first. I don't know. A lot of golf, even though it should be my Mother's Day adventure. So I got to make sure I treat Mom real good tonight. All right, guys. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.